Good evening, Yorktown. This is Supervisor Matt Slater, joined here tonight with Councilman Ed Lachterman. It is Sunday, April 5th, 6 p.m. We're here to provide another update regarding COVID-19, as well as a Q&A session for folks at home to ask us questions that they might have regarding COVID-19 and the town's response to the ongoing pandemic. Today's numbers in Yorktown again increased. We now have 167 confirmed cases in the town of Yorktown. Again, in the town of Yorktown, that's 167 confirmed cases, an increase of 13 from yesterday. Westchester County increased by 642 cases. Westchester now has 13,723 confirmed cases, and the state of New York increased by 8,327. And now across the state, there is 122,031 cases. For those who watched the governor's update earlier today, there may be some good news. It's too early to tell, but some of the numbers that we're seeing statewide may indicate a possible plateau of the numbers. It's only 1 day's worth of data, so statistically, not enough to provide a firm sample, but the governor was indicating during his briefing that if you look at some of the key facts and key figures from across the state, it may just be a blip, it may be a plateau, only time will tell. Again, we expect the apex still to be about a week or so out. I can tell you here in Yorktown, Yorktown makes up 4% of the total population in Westchester County. So therefore, we anticipated 4% of the total COVID-19 confirmed cases. Right now, though, we are running below that. We're running at 3%. And I would attribute that to, the proactive measures we took early on, as well as, obviously, the residents' compliance with those parameters and continued assistance in keeping everybody safe and doing their best to stay home. Just a few very quick remarks and announcements, and then I'm just going to go right to questions because that's what today is about. We'll be here until 7 o'clock. For anyone who wants to ask a question, there's two methods of doing this. You can post it right on our Facebook page, and Councilman Lachterman is over there at his laptop, and he'll provide those questions, as well as answering those questions right on our Facebook page. You can also call us at 914-962-5722, extension 216. That's 914-962-5722, extension 216. Phone's right next to me. So just a few more updates. Walmart over in Mohegan Lake on Wednesday, April 8th, this coming Wednesday, April 8th, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., they will be opening their doors only to frontliners and first responders, so only our medical professionals who are up on the front lines and our first responders. DeCicco's in Jefferson Valley was closed today. They were giving their staff a very well-deserved rest, and we want to thank all of our grocery store workers for just the tremendous efforts they've put in. That they've put in. And so DeCicco's was closed today, but they will be open tomorrow. I'm going to take this call, and I'll continue with my remarks.
You want to shoot the question to me for now, and we could answer it after your remarks.
Sure. Town Halls, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, Sherry, how are you? So the only number the question that Sherry has asked is the death toll. At this point, the only number that we know for sure is 2, but the town does not get notified of what the real number is. So it could be more, but we know definitively of at least 2 of our neighbors who unfortunately have lost their lives to coronavirus. I can't say that. I can't give details on the individuals, unfortunately, due to HIPAA. You're welcome, Sharon. Bye-bye. So as I was saying before, DeCicco's was closed today. They'll be open tomorrow. Planning board work session will be tomorrow night using Zoom. They'll be meeting remotely, utilizing the Zoom platform. Town hall staff will be returning tomorrow, very select staff. Again, we are working at a 50% mandate for total workforce for town and county governments. And so we have a very select few individuals returning tomorrow here at Town Hall. Again, we did have 2 individuals test positive, and so we had completely sanitized the building and out of an abundance of caution, had all of our Town Hall staff work remotely for the rest of the week. So we will be back tomorrow. As a reminder also, our friends at Alliance for Safe Kids, and Tommy, if you can grab that QR code, Alliance for Safe Kids, in partnership with the town of Yorktown, have created a COVID-19 resource guide. COVID-19 resource guide. You can either utilize the QR code, which Tommy's hopefully showing, or you can go onto our website, yorktownny.org, click on the COVID-19 page, and there's a direct link right there. It's really just a fantastic resource guide that categorizes all the different services from our schools to substance abuse, mental health, things specifically for our seniors. So just a really great comprehensive resource guide for everybody at home. Ride Connect is still operating, so any of our seniors who need help getting groceries, please, you can contact Ride Connect. The number there is 914-242-7433. Ride Connect has an army of volunteers who either picks up the groceries that are pre-ordered and paid for, or they set you up with a volunteer who can take your shopping list and your payment options and go to the store for you and bring you back your groceries. Again, that's Ride Connect. And then lastly, we're going to be announcing more details of this in the next couple days, but we're going to be launching a task force that I think we've officially titled it Reboot Yorktown. That is a business-focused task force that is going to be made up of a bunch of our business leaders, the Chamber, the Yorktown Small Business Association, folks that we already had conversations with, and really to just take an overall look at the economic impact this is going to have and what the town and our town government can do to mitigate that hit and support all of our Main Street businesses, and what policies we can implement to really reboot our economy here locally. And I think that's something that everyone needs to be, and I think everybody is, cognizant of, is the financial impact that this is having on so many of our neighbors. And I was just receiving a text message from State Senator Pete Harcum. We do stay in constant contact with all of our partners in government, and the Senator is providing some information on conversations that are ongoing regarding some potential tax relief that the state may be looking at. So we continue to explore all these different avenues for the residents of Yorktown, understanding the financial impact that this is going to have on everyone's budgets, and working together, we're going to try to provide some real forward-thinking solutions and policies, again, to reboot our local economy. With that being said, again, questions. I don't know if we have questions come up on Facebook.
Nothing as of yet.
But you can post your questions right on our Facebook page, or you can call directly. The phone's sitting right next to me, 914-962-5722, extension 216. 914-962-5722, extension 216. As a reminder, this week we're going to have County Executive George Latimer joining us on Tuesday evening. The county executive will be calling in. He'll be doing that as well through a Zoom platform. And then on Thursday, Dr. Michael Ford from Hudson Valley Hospital is going to be providing a status report from the hospital standpoint, as well as provide some quick tips and medical tips for folks as we continue, hopefully, to, at that point, descend from the apex. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Thank you. Great question. Great question. Thanks for calling. I'll answer it right now for you. So the question is about bulk pickup. Bulk pickup is continuing. If you go right on our website here, yorktownny.org, If you go to the COVID-19 page, you'll see bulk pickup is as follows. Section 2 is on April 6th. Section 3, April 20th. Section 4, May 4th. Supervisor Slater. Hey, Tom. Mm-hmm. Let me ask. I'm not quite sure, Councilman. You might know this. If you have Social Security, this is in regards to the stimulus bill that was passed by the federal government. If you have Social Security, does it go direct deposit?
For the relief bills or the relief payments are all supposed to go direct deposit.
Okay, so the relief payments are all supposed to go direct deposit. But you did pay federal taxes last year or the year before, correct? Yeah, so they'll take your last year's filing, and they're going to utilize that information to send you your check. Okay? Yes. Hi, how are you? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, so if you didn't file direct deposit for your taxes, then I think they're going to be sending you a check.
Most likely, if they don't have direct deposit information, it'll probably be a hard
They're going to
check.
send you, yeah, they'll send you a hard check, just as you did get your last return. Right. They're going to utilize your lax tax filing, and they're going to pay you that way. Yep. Correct. Yeah, I believe there's a form online that you can fill out
Yes.
to get direct deposit. Otherwise, they're going to utilize the last payment option that they sent your tax return
Actually,
with.
Sergio Esposito from our Chamber of Commerce is recommending that you
You're welcome.
fill
Bye-bye.
out the direct deposit form online.
What was that?
Our head of the Chamber of Commerce, Sergio Esposito, is suggesting that you go online and fill out the form for direct deposit.
We'll get that form. I'm going to make sure that we get that form up on our website as a quick link. So I'm going to have our team add that as well, because I don't see that on there, but we'll make
Correct.
sure it gets on there. So the
I
direct
do have a
deposit.
couple of questions that have come in.
Great.
One was asking about resumption of business for dog groomers. I guess to see if there's anything where
As long as New York on pause is in effect, I have not been notified of any changes in the essential worker status. But if it's, the other option that they have is that they can go on to you can utilize our website or the Department of Labor website or ESD's website, and you can fill out a waiver, and that waiver then can be submitted to the state and to try to become an essential service. So that's their other option.
And if it's a matter of nails, because sometimes on dogs that's why you bring them to the groomer. I do know that our vet was in operation, and I think most veterinarians
Yeah,
are, since
right.
it's essential. So there's an option there for nails.
Great. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. The Hudson Valley Presbyterian Hospital? Sure. So right now, the question is if there's a status on Hudson Valley Hospital. I've spoken to some of their executives. They have not provided a detailed briefing in relation to what their current status is. My understanding, though, is there are beds. Their emergency department is operational. Their emergency department has capacity, and they are taking people through their emergency department. If someone comes in COVID-related, they are diverted through another section of the hospital to try to keep the emergency department, in a sense, clear of any COVID-related patients or potentially related patients. So anyone who goes in with COVID is automatically isolated within the hospital. So they are continuing to operate. They do have capacity, is my understanding. And Dr. Ford's going to be here on Thursday to provide more of an update as to what we're seeing out of Hudson Valley Hospital Center, and that takes place on Thursday. You're welcome, sir. Take care. Stay well. And again, you can ask questions. This is a Q&A. This is an open question and answer forum that the Councilman Lachterman and I are hosting. This is our third one now since we began this pandemic, because we think it's just critically important to provide as much information as we can to you, the public. This is a very scary time, unprecedented time, and just glad to be here and answer these questions. Again, you can either post it on our Facebook or you can call 914-962-5722, extension 216. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Then that's the first I'm hearing, because we did speak with them directly. This is in regards to Ride Connect for the audience at home. So if I'm unaware of any policy change about whether they're just doing pharmacy runs. The last that we spoke with their coordinator, medical, correct. But I have not been informed of any change of policy, because originally they were doing groceries. So I'll check. I'm happy to check with our coordinator. Okay. The other option is you can call for our seniors. If you're struggling with food, you can call our senior services center right here in town. And we have a great Meals on Wheels program. We're serving over 100 seniors. And I'm just going to pull up the number because I don't have it off the top of my head. But the number there, if you want to call them about delivering meals, is 914-962-7447. And Noreen O'Driscoll does a tremendous job for our seniors. And that's another option for you to explore as well. You're welcome. Take care. Yep, stay well. Bye-bye.
Now, for the Meals on Wheels, there has been a waiting list, but I think because of some adjustments, we'll be able to actually accommodate everyone on the list right now. Mm-hmm. So definitely a great idea for a resource. Yep.
What other questions do we have from Facebook?
We had a question about update on the schools, if you have anything.
The schools remain closed until April 15th. They continue to, both school superintendents are putting out nearly daily updates, but April 15th is still the date that we're working on. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. No problem. No problem at all. How you doing, Patricia? Yes. Yep, that's a great question. We've had several people reach out about food pantries. I've been in touch with St. Mary's, and they are still accepting donations, both whether it's food or monetary donations. They are still functioning. They still have Saturday mornings. It's a drive-through operation. They're up at Mohegan Lake. And so St. Mary's would be my recommendation for you to support one of our food pantries. Yeah, I mean, I would check their website. That's what their instruction has been to us, is to push their website, and so you can donate monetarily right on their website, or you can also I think there's instructions there as to when and where you can drop off canned food. Okay? Thanks so much. Yep, bye-bye. And that's a great point also. There are a number of other food pantries in town who continue to operate, and which obviously during, a crisis like this, they get a lot more people in need coming out. So any way that you can support one of our food pantries and would be fantastic for our community. I've had several people reach out in that regards as well. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. How you doing, Nick? And thanks for all your help with YVAC. You guys have been tremendous. I was on the phone with Captain Davin earlier today. How can I help you? Yes. Yeah. Yep. The question is about taxes. Our tax receiver will be in tomorrow, or you can utilize. The thing is, actually, let me change that because town buildings are still locked to the public, so you can drop your taxes off in the drop box outside of town hall. But the tax receiver is going to be in tomorrow to process all payments. She'll be sending receipts back to people once she processes the payments. Okay? Thanks, Nick. Stay well. That's a great question as well regarding taxes. Again, April 30th is the tax deadline. I stated earlier, a lot of conversations about providing some sort of tax relief. The town does not have the legal authority to extend the deadline, nor do we have the legal authority to waive taxes and fees. I can tell you that I'm involved in a number of conversations and discussions about what can be done with our partners on the county and state level. Again, as I stated earlier, Senator Harcum had reached out to me today via text message just a short while ago. He's been very helpful in this aspect as well, as has County Executive Latimer and our Board of Legislators, all of which we're working collectively to figure out a way to provide some sort of tax relief for those facing financial hardship. You have questions on Facebook?
There was a question about auto inspections, which I answered that they are being pushed back. But
April 19th is the new deadline for inspections.
Right, and registrations as well. Now, registrations can be done online. You do not need to go to DMV, so that is an option as well.
And the other deadline that was moved was the enhanced license deadline. Was pushed to next year, actually. So they've pushed that out as well.
Just on the food pantry issue, I just looked up on one of the others, which is First Presbyterian Church on this side of town.
Yep, over on 202.
Yep, they have theirs still noted as April 11th for the next one, which is next Saturday. They did their last one outside to keep open air and be able to keep the spacing. And there was a question on what they need. On here they always need donations of pasta, dried beans, canned fruits and vegetables, and shelf-stable milk.
Right,
big items.
And I was just reading an email I got from Terry Berardi from St. Mary's, and there is a box at the entrance to the parish hall where donations can be left during the week, or they can be dropped off on Fridays around 12:30. And volunteers are there to accept them. So that's for St. Mary's up in Mohegan Lake.
Great.
Yep. So again, if you have questions, you can post them on our Facebook page, which I almost called you Senator, which Councilman Lachterman is monitoring. You can call directly, 914-962-5722, extension 216. We have the phone right here, taking questions from folks at home. Again, I find that this has been very useful because everyone has questions about this situation. We've had some great questions already that have come in. I can tell you that our focus really is the four walls of Yorktown. Some of the questions that we've been getting, we don't have the authority to make decisions on, but we do our best to try to provide solutions and answers to everything that comes our way. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Good, how are you? Yep. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, I hear you loud and clear. The social distancing is still 6 feet. That's the That's the social distancing recommendation from the federal and state governments. That's part of the New York and the CDC. Yeah, the CDC is recommending cloth masks if you're going out into public, just as another layer of protection. To your point, and I've said this time and again, especially recently, choices matter, and we have to just be more understanding that everyone is facing the same situation together. So the more understanding we are of each other, and the more accommodating we are of each other, the more healthy we are all going to be at the end. And so, to your point, you're taking the right precautions. I mean, yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. All I can tell you is that you've got the right mindset. You're doing the right things. You're protecting your family, and people need to understand social distancing is real. That the virus is real. It's taking lives right in our community, and for those people to think otherwise, quite frankly, aren't really paying attention to the severity of the situation. So. No, you keep it up. You keep it up. We appreciate all you're doing, and just take care of your family and stay well, okay? Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, people need to understand when you're out of the grocery store, 6 feet is 6 feet. And again, I've said it before, we need to be more understanding. I mean, everyone's frustrated. No one is enjoying the situation that we're all in. But to be combative with your fellow neighbor is not going to solve the problem. And so the more understanding and compassionate we are towards each other right now, the easier it's going to be for everyone to get through this.
Absolutely.
Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, Mary, how are you? Licenses that are due? Yeah, so the DMV is closed. The question is, again, about licenses. The DMV, New York State DMV, all DMVs across the state have been closed. The new deadlines are now April 19th for anything that may have expired beginning in March. So if you did have a license or a registration or an inspection that needed to be renewed, the new date to do so by is April 19th. And again, the governor has the authority to change that as we get closer. Then if your license expires in May, it's still the May deadline. I don't think they've provided any guidance beyond April 19th. All right, Mary, take care. Stay well. Thanks. Bye-bye. So, more great questions that we're getting from the public.
Yep. So there was a more comment about the concern about people at FDR Park and as well as Turkey Mountain and what the town is doing. I know Jim Materano answered about us. Well, we are not. We cannot patrol at FDR Park. It's a state park. We have no authority there.
Right.
But
and all state parks are open, but their playgrounds are closed, their sports fields are closed, and their basketball courts are closed.
Right. And I know in our parks, Jim and his crew have taken down the basketball rims
where they can. Yes,
where they can. They've
got caution tape up in all the
right.
playgrounds.
Our police department has been helping in enforcement.
Yep.
Really, these meetings, these messages, the posts on Facebook, are sending our police force when we know about it is what we can do. Unfortunately, we can't. I think we have more pocket parks than we have police in our town.
That's
so
for sure.
It would be extremely difficult to get someone out there and still run the town in a safety and security point of view. So
I drove through FDR today. I do this every day now just to keep an eye on certain spots in town, whether it's FDR Park or the track over at Veterans Field. The track was completely empty, which I was very happy to see. Again, thank you to the residents for adhering to the parameters that we put forward. FDR Park remains open. There's no entrance fee. When you're there, you got to make sure that you're, walking against traffic. That's important, not just there, but also when you're walking your neighborhoods, because there's a lot more people out walking right now than we typically see, because everyone's trying to get outside and enjoy the nice weather, and I get that. But it's got to be solitary exercise, according to the governor's New York on Pause. And for safety reasons, and Chief Noble's been here saying this before, you should be walking against traffic, not with traffic. So this way you can see any cars that may be coming directly towards you. For FDR Park, again, it's a state-run facility. If you're going to FDR Park, and I drove through it today. I know people who were there today. Adhere to the social distancing parameters. 6 feet. You shouldn't be there with a group of 20 people. You should be there by yourself or with a spouse or a parent that you may live with. If going for a walk. But social distancing is really the key to limiting the spread, avoiding crowded places. Today I had a choice. I could have either gone for a run in FDR Park or the bike path, or I could have ran in my neighborhood. I decided, it was better to run in my neighborhood to avoid, potential of large crowds. Not that I'm saying that there are, but it's just those are the conscious decisions that we have to make, and these choices matter. They really have an impact not just on your life or your family's life, but like I said yesterday, a complete stranger's life. You just don't know. And right now, if you listen to the health experts, everyone's saying you need to assume, unfortunately at this point, that majority of people have been exposed to COVID-19. What are the questions that we have on Facebook?
There was someone asking about how can someone in non-essential job work if you've had the virus and are medically able. I have half of my crew able to work and are being told we can. I'm not sure what kind of a business.
Depends on the business. And again, that list is provided on the town's website under the COVID-19 page, the 100% reduction of non-essential work. There's been, I think the biggest debate has been on landscaping work and lawn work, because what we have here is you have ESD, which sets the parameters which is a state agency that sets the parameters for essential versus non-essential, and then you have it's called Agriculture and Markets. That's the state agency that oversees landscaping and frankly anything that has to do with agriculture. And so Ags and Markets has put out one ruling and one set of guidance regarding landscaping, and ESD, which is Economic State Development, has put out a second or its own guidance and ruling on landscaping, and frankly they conflict with each other. So that's been the biggest source of, I think, debate with regards to the essential versus non-essential. We're trying to provide as much information as we can. I was on a conference call on Friday with County Executive Latimer and all of the supervisors and mayors of Westchester County. Everyone's dealing with this. I just saw Sleepy Hollow banned leaf blowers. They just banned leaf blowers, I think, yesterday. But in regards to that person's question, it just depends on the nature of their business. And if they're listed as a non-essential service, they can, again, go onto our website. We have the link for the form that needs to be filled out, which they can be considered by ESD, Economic State Development, if they can be considered an essential or non-essential service or essential or non-essential project for anybody else.
Great. Comment came in from Sergio again about the portal for banking information. Apparently, the IRS, as of March 30th, which is almost a week ago now, said that they would have something up and running. They're working on it. It's not up yet, and as it becomes available, Sergio will get the information to us. But I think someone did put something on Facebook as well in the comments, so we'll look at that after.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that after. So again, we're here with Councilman Lachterman. My name's Matt Slater, Town Supervisor. We are taking live questions from folks at home. You can either post it on the town's Facebook page where the video, or where this is live streaming, and Councilman Lachterman will either answer or ask the question. Or you can call right here on the phone next to me, 914-962-5722, extension 216. Again, that's 914-962-5722, extension 216. While we wait for more questions, I do want to go back to Nick from YVAC. I was on the phone, like I said earlier, with Captain Davin earlier today. I just want to reemphasize just the absolutely tremendous work and sacrifice the members of our Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps have made during this entire situation. People have to remember YVAC is 100% volunteer. So when you call 911 and someone from the Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps comes to your house, they are not paid. They are your neighbor, they are your friend, and they are coming to help you in a time of need. And again, 100% volunteer. So they've just been absolutely fantastic for this
Absolutely.
town. And sorry,
YVAC and MOVAC.
and Mohegan Volunteer Ambulance Corps as well. And Anthony Milo has been great up there. And,
Yep.
and we talk with our first responders nearly daily. And let's see, hopefully this is the same person. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the best word, is disgusting, for any of the litter that we're finding around town. Yep. Yeah, so regards to litter again, for everyone at home, the questions about litter, our code enforcement has enhanced enforcement of the litter law. The town police have enhanced their enforcement of the litter law. We've invested in new technology and additional technology and in additional litter cams to combat people who are doing this. We've already handed out fines to people. We will continue to do that. You know, it's not only disgusting, it's dangerous. And I understand that people have their gloves and their masks, but I provided a demonstration of how to properly remove your gloves and put them in a Ziploc bag and properly discard that either at a garbage can in the parking lot or at your own house. That's the proper way of doing it. I saw pictures today of the Shrub Oak Acme. There were gloves in the parking lot up there. So we'll be sending additional crews up through that area to see if we can, if we find someone who's littering, they're going to be fined. They're breaking the law, and so we have all intentions of enhancing our enforcement, and we are continuing to tell people, again, you litter, you break the law, you get caught, there's a hefty fine, and we're not going to slow down, we're not going to slow down that enforcement. We're not going to hold back that enforcement. Thanks so much. Stay well. Bye-bye.
Will we be seeing online town board meetings soon?
Yes, April 14th. Our plan right now is to have an April 14th town board meeting, because that is before April 15th, which is the deadline for New York on Pause. We are planning on doing that remotely using a Zoom platform, and our town clerk has been leading the charge to make sure that's ready to go. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great point. The gentleman's question is about the fact that he doesn't have a computer and trying to get information that we are sharing through our daily updates. And so at this point, we've been, frankly, other than Saturdays, I think. Were we here Friday? I don't even. All the days are blending at this point.
I think
to be
Friday
honest
you
with
might have done. No, you did from here Friday.
I did from here Friday too. Yeah, but I can tell you that this week it's Tuesday, Thursday. We're going to be definitely here Tuesday and Thursday, providing those updates. We've been pretty consistent with the 6 o'clock time. We tried to move it to 5 at one point, but it didn't work. Apparently, the president keeps copying me on what times I want to do these. But we're doing our best to try to get the information out to folks without computers, utilizing our government access channel. But 6 o'clock is still, for the most part, the time that we do these, and they do replay, they do loop. So if you miss it at 6 o'clock, it loops for 24 hours or until the next video is posted. And so again, this week I can tell you definitively we're going to be here Tuesday and Thursday at the very least. And if there's more information or important information, we're glad to be back and do it in additional days on top of Tuesday and Thursday. But this week it'll definitely be Tuesday and Thursday here at the town boardroom. Yep, perfect. That's what I like to hear. We're trying our best to get the information out there to you. So Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock. You got it. Bye-bye. That's a great point. I mean, this is something that we've struggled with, is balancing, the information platforms that we're using, making sure that we're trying to get as much information out to everybody as we can, and utilizing our government access channels is one way of doing that. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Yes. Yeah, well, I said this. That's a great question. So the question again is about landscaping. There is a conflict of guidance from the state of New York about landscaping and what they are able to do. Yeah, of course I do. Except that I don't have jurisdiction to make these decisions. They're doing it on a statewide basis. So there's a conflict between two competing agencies in New York State. We've continued to advocate and really beg for clarity as to whether landscapers and basic maintenance is allowed. At this point in time, what we're understanding is basic maintenance and basic lawn care is allowed, but only allowed when one person is doing the work. So it can't be a group, a crew coming in to do it. So it has to be one person. And basic maintenance, no plantings or landscape work is allowed under the New York on pause order. It's frustrating. We're trying our best to get clarity from the state, but that's unfortunately above local government. So we're just providing the information that's being provided to us and the direction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. I understand the challenges that it poses, but this is the problem. One of the problems that we're seeing coming from the state, and so we've all consistently, and when I say all, I'm on these conference calls Monday, Wednesday, Friday with all the supervisors and mayors. We continue to raise it as an issue because we've not gotten a true guidance and clear guidance as to what landscapers are allowed to do. And so it's this gray area that we're trying our best to provide safe guidance so this way nobody, frankly, gets in trouble if they're trying to operate their business. We're trying. Well, I appreciate it. All right, enjoy. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
What is the status with Yorktown summer camps?
Yorktown summer camps, that's a great question. It's on our website, and I know Jim Moderano and his crew continue to do a great job on updating that. Let me just look real quick. I believe that they were... I'm going to get this answer, unless Jimmy's already on there.
He did not answer it.
All right, so in regards to summer camps, they're expecting to run camp. Our Parks and Rec department is encouraging people to fill out the town camp registration form with your child's immunization form attached and a check payment. Registration forms can be found in the spring and summer brochure on pages 27 and 28. That brochure is also online, and parents can mail the required registration forms and payments. Or they can put them in the drop box located at the rec department, and that is at 176 Granite Springs Road, Yorktown Heights, 10598. Again, that's and for those who want to just drop it off, it's right at Sparkle Lake, across the parking lot from the playground. So right now we are planning on having camps. You can fill out those forms. You can and bring it to the rec department. And I know they're also working on trying to get our online portal up and running as quickly as we can for our rec programs as well.
Right. There's been a question, I think that this is important to address. Some people are confused. I know the president announced last week that he wanted a pause till the 30th. There's questions whether Governor Cuomo has extended New York or not.
So New York, very clearly New York is April 15th. The governor has not extended it beyond that at this point in time. He very well could. But until we hear otherwise, it's April 15th. My understanding with the president's initiative and directive, I think that's the key there. It's a directive. And so he wants the social distancing to continue until the end of April, which makes a lot of sense. And so whether or not our state government follows that directive is yet to be seen. Right now, New York on pause expires on April 15th.
And there was also the comment come in that I know that the president decided he didn't want to go on and compete against you today, but actually I think he decided to go on now, from what I'm understanding from Tom in the booth, at 7 p.m. tonight.
Oh, okay, perfect. So now he's waiting for me to finish up.
Yes,
That's good.
yes.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. President. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Yes. Right. So it's a great question regarding our ambulance corps and what their protocols are. At this point, they're treating everybody as a COVID positive that calls. That's a directive from the state and the county's Department of Health. And so right now, if they can handle it, they are. Otherwise, we do have a contract with Empress Ambulance, who provides ambulance service throughout the county. And so and the reality is, when they pick somebody up, when our YVAC picks somebody up, as Captain Davin explains, their ambulance, once they bring them to the hospital and back, and they return back to headquarters, which is located off 202, their ambulance is out of service for 4 hours because it has to be desanitized before they can use it again. And so in those instances, they're relying on mutual aid as well as ALS, which is, again, the Empress Ambulance company, who continues to provide services to Yorktown as well as other municipalities across the county. It depends on. So it's a great question. If they bring someone who's positive or not, it depends on. It depends, unfortunately. If somebody requests, my understanding is, and I'm not an expert on this, but my understanding is, from my conversations with our first responders, that if somebody requests to be brought to the hospital, then they do get transport to the hospital. For the most part, though, unless they are experiencing severe symptoms, most people are being advised to just quarantine at home, not to go to the hospital simply because they are COVID related or COVID positive, but only if they're experiencing severe symptoms. I couldn't tell you definitively what their average time is. I don't have that data in front of me, unfortunately. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
I do know when we were dropping off supplies to YVAC, they were talking about being able to use some ultraviolet light to speed up the sanitizing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how far, if those were available or not.
Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, Mike. Yeah, it's a good question. So Mike's question is about a central information hub regarding which stores have what supplies. I can tell you that I've seen folks utilizing certain social media platforms to help disseminate that information. We don't get that information directly from the chains. That's not something that that's not information that we receive. We are in touch with the stores to make sure that they are adhering to the parameters that are put forward by the state. But as for what specific products they have, that's not something that we're given. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. I've heard a lot of people ask for that, and I'm not quite sure how we would execute that, nor do I think that they are required to provide us that information.
Now, at least the stores I know are doing a lot of limiting, so people can't just wipe out the stuff as it comes in. So it should
Yeah.
be helpful, and I know that they've been working on the supply chains and making sure that everything's restocked.
Right.
So,
Right. And these are all great questions, and again, Mike, I wish I had a better answer for you, quite frankly. That's something that maybe we could try to work on some solution towards. I'm happy to reach out and see if there's something that we can do in that manner, but again, that information is not provided regarding, again, for those just listening, what products are in what stores. That information is not provided to the town generally. And again, I don't believe that I don't think that they're required to provide that. I know they're not required to provide it to the
we
town.
honestly, we don't even have the infrastructure for it to keep it updated, communicated, and get it out there.
Yeah.
It would be quite a momentous
So
task.
since the president's going on at 7, this way we don't compete, we're still here for another 8 minutes, taking questions from the public.
Here's one for us here.
Yep.
Is there a way to send updates to seniors who don't have a computer by way of a phone call?
Yeah, we can. That's a great question. We can try to utilize the reverse 911 feature, possibly. That's something that I've been trying to figure out myself, is how we can make sure that our seniors are getting the information they need. So maybe a pre-recorded message, but everyone hates those phone calls when they come through. Yeah. But I mean, maybe that's an option that we can do.
Right. Well, here's the suggestion: is seniors can add the phone numbers to a list and get important updates from that list.
That's
Almost
an
like
opt-in?
almost like a Nixle type of thing.
An
maybe.
opt-in, yeah, an option in. That's a good idea. Yeah. All right, let me grab this real quick. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. How are you, Tom? Yeah. So the question is in regards to businesses who may have been, or is it the employees you're thinking of? If they had an employee who tested positive. So if a business had an employee test positive, that is all dealt with through the County Department of Health and the State Department of Health. The town doesn't get notified at all if an individual employee tests positive. All the information that is provided to me is in regards to individual residents, not anything regarding their place of work or their whereabouts or potential contacts. We don't get that information. Thank you. All right, Tommy. See ya. Bye-bye. Yeah, another good question in regards, because, again, we've heard rumors, and I said before that I will not govern based on rumors. We are focused on facts, verified facts, and the county and the state does not notify us of employees or places of business that have employees that tested positive. That's not how that works. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Yes. Yeah, the one that I saw on the 23rd says April 19th, but I'll definitely double check. This is again regarding the DMV extensions, but we'll double check tomorrow with the state, and if we have to update our information, we'll surely do that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
There was a question to see if we could give some guidance to the condo boards and influence the landscaping behaviors. Apparently, Hunter Brook landscapers were fertilizing last week, although would that be considered?
I think that'd be considered, again, the landscaping thing is just such a gray mess, quite frankly, and very hard for us to provide clear guidance when we're not getting it from frankly, our partners in government. I would argue that that would be considered basic maintenance. The question that I would have, though, is if they had more than one person doing it.
Right.
Because if they have more than, and I understand the Hunterbrook condos, and I understand the size of it, I know it well, but if they have more than one person doing it, an argument could be made that they are violating the order by the governor. And so, this is something that we continue to, frankly, beg the state to get on the same. The state itself is not on the same page with what is allowed in regards to landscaping,
Right.
which is really the whole problem here. And so we're continuing to beg the state to provide clarity and guidance that we can then provide to the Yorktown companies here. I mean, Mike Weber reached out to me. I mean, they're asking the same questions, and we're trying to provide the best answer that we can. But considering the state is not on the same page with itself,
Right.
It makes it very difficult.
Yep. If the left hand doesn't know what the right is doing.
That's right. What other questions do we have over there, Councilman?
So there's been a conversation going back and forth, which I'll thank our Honorable Judge Lagonia, who's been helping to answer some of the questions.
The judge. I talked to him last night.
Yes. Hope you, Loretta, and the whole family are doing well, Sal. So the conversation came off from the littering, and someone had suggested using the cameras at Acme to try to find that person, although I think the way it was thrown out, you might not catch it. But there was a question on, hey, can we take a picture of someone littering, bring it to the police department? It is, yes, they can react to it. If they could ID the person, they can try to do something about it.
You need more than the photo of the individual. I think you need to be able to identify who it is.
Right. Well, they can always take a license plate too.
Well, yeah,
but,
no, I'm just saying you have to have some identifier.
Right. But my main concern is you need to be careful.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want this, as you put out before, going up to someone and being belligerent about it is just going to inflame the situation. And you really, really, it's safety in all areas first. You don't know how that person is going to react. You could always say, excuse me, can you please pick that up?
Yep.
Try it the nice way.
Yep.
and see where it goes. Odds are most of those people are not throwing it on the ground when someone's watching.
Right.
But you know what? I would hate to see any type of fist fight or anything breaking out because we're trying to do the right thing. So please, extreme caution in that.
Yeah, I just, and I think we're going to end on this again. Compassion. I mean, the words that I keep thinking of, it's the Yorktown way. I mean, that's how we deal with each other here. We're neighbors, we're friends, we're family, and everyone's in this together. Everyone's feeling the same stress. Everyone, you and I started when you got here. You said to me, "How's everyone at home?" And I said, "Well, probably the same as everyone home by you." And you said, "Yeah, you're right." And because we're all feeling the same stress, we're all feeling the same pressure, and the only way we're going to get through it is together. And so if you do have to go out of your house and you do have to be in public, just keep it in mind. Everyone's under stress right now. Everyone's under pressure right now. So let's be more compassionate. Let's be more understanding. Let's be more sensitive. Let's be neighbors. Let's be true neighbors to each other, and make sure that we're supporting each other and that we're lifting each other up. And that is what I believe is the Yorktown way. And just by the way, since sitting here and this starting, we just received a donation of a few hundred masks by a local business owner to our first responders. Just in the last 10 minutes, he just sent me a text message, which is absolutely incredible.
Fantastic.
So and that's again the Yorktown way. It's generosity. It's supporting each other. It's being there for each other. And I know again, I said it before, but your choices matter, not just for yourself, but for others. Not just for people you know, but people you may not know. And that's just the viciousness of this virus and the intense situation that we're in. So please be smart. Be smart. If we have more information, it's 7 o'clock. I don't want to compete with the president, but it's 7 o'clock. If we have more information, we have verified information. We've committed to the people of Yorktown that we would provide that information, and we have been doing so nearly nightly. And I really want to thank Tom Ciangela, who is hiding in the back. He's the best producer we can find anywhere in Westchester, if not New York State. But he's been with us every step of the way, helping us provide this information, making sure it gets out to the public. And he doesn't ask for any accolades or recognition, but he deserves a whole heck of a lot. So, Tommy, thanks so much for hanging in there with us. Really appreciate
Thank
all
you,
you're
Tommy,
doing.
and for not yelling at us.
And for not yelling. He didn't yell at me today. But folks, again, we're here for you. We're here to work for you and work with you. If you have questions, you can call me directly at 914-962-5722, extension 200. That's 914-962-5722, extension 200. Or you can email me at mslater@yorktownny.org. Again, that's mslater@yorktownny.org. So stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.